Okay, so let's move on. New grammar content for this lesson, pronomes indefinidos, indefinite pronouns. And I'm going to start with a few guidelines about this topic, okay? This topic, it's a little bit tricky. This list of words that I'm going to share with you, usually students need some time to be okay, to be comfortable with these words. So this is just the beginning of a process, okay? So first of all, let me tell you that we have pronomes indefinidos, variable and invariable. So indefinite pronouns are divided into two groups, variable and invariable. What's this? Variable indefinite pronouns are words that change. They are variable because they change, which means that we have an option, a solution for singular, for plural, for masculine, and for feminine. Okay, an example of a word that it's an indefinite pronoun and you've been using since level A1. We have the word muito and muita and muitos and muitas. That's an example, okay? And then we have the invariable indefinite pronouns are words that never change. An example, this word here, alguém. Alguém means someone. Alguém, it doesn't change. There's no feminine or masculine or singular or plural. So alguém, it's invariable, okay? Let's check the guideline number one. Invariable pronouns are alguém, someone, ninguém, no one, tudo, everything, nada, nothing, and cada, each. These words they never change, as I told you, they are invariable. And now let me tell you this. I have here this translations. I'm saying that alguém you translate like someone, ninguém like no one, tudo like everything, nada like nothing. But let me say to you that this translation that you can find here, right after each one of these words, it's the translation that works more often, okay? Because sometimes you'll translate from Portuguese to English with these words and you'll find slightly different translations. An example, I'm saying that tudo, it's everything, but sometimes it's also all, okay? So it depends how you're using this word in which context. So the translation, it's not always the word that you can find here, okay? But as a guideline, this works super well. Then guideline number two, we use the words alguém, someone, ninguém, no one, only for people, okay? So you don't use alguém or ninguém for things, for concepts, for objects. And we use the word tudo, everything, and nada, nothing, only for things. So we don't use tudo and nada for people. And we use the words cada for both people and things, okay? This is just a guideline. Do you have to memorize all these guidelines? No. Just go with the flow, get an idea, and then things will start making sense, okay? Guideline number three. Variable indefinite pronouns are algum, some, nenhum, none, muito, much or many, depends how you're using it, todo, all, or every, pouco, few, little, or outro, other. Okay, so let's check a few guidelines more. Guideline number 4. In Portuguese, we use double negation when using indefinite pronouns. Let's check examples because without examples, this is not easy to understand. Não tenho nada. So, não tenho, negative, nada, double negative. I have nothing, that's a translation. Não vi ninguém. So, não vi, negative, ninguém, double negative. I didn't see anyone, okay? Guideline number 5. Quite often, Portuguese language students have difficulty in choosing between the use of definite pronouns or indefinite pronouns. An example, for example, should I use the pronoun todo or tudo? This is a question that students have very often. Sometimes you guys are speaking Portuguese and you are thinking to yourself, is it tudo or todo? Is it tudo or toda? Tudo or todos? This is very common. Or an example, should I use alguém or algum or ninguém or nenhum? It's very, I understand the question, I understand the problem, but it's very easy for you to solve this problem, okay? How do you solve this? Resolving this doubt is quite simple. Don't forget that variable pronouns are variable because after using them, we always have a noun, okay? So an example, alguém, it's an indefinite pronoun. I'll show you the table in a second. Algum, it's a variable pronoun. The reason why we use variable pronouns, they are variable because right after the pronoun, you have a noun, okay? So if you're asking yourself, do I have to use alguém or algum for this activity or for this sentence? You just have to check the word that comes after. If the word that comes after is a noun, it has to be algum, okay? You'll never find a noun after an indefinite pronoun. Actually, there's one exception, that is the word cada. Cada, it's an indefinite pronoun, but after cada you have a noun. But with all the other indefinite pronouns, and again, I'll show you in a following lesson. Following lesson, I'll show you the table with all the pronouns. But don't forget that every time you use a variable indefinite pronoun, they are variable because you have a noun after it. So we say muitos gatos. So muitos, it's a variable indefinite pronoun. Gatos, it's a noun and it's masculine and it's plural. That's why I use muitos. If I'm talking about the gatas, female cats, I would say muitas gatas, right? So this muitas is in accordance with the noun that follows, that is gatas, plural feminine, okay? And it's always this guideline that you have to use. And if you do that, it will be very easy for you to solve this problem. Then, a few examples more. Nenhuma pessoa, so nenhuma, it's a variable, indefinite pronoun. So if it is variable, you have to have a noun after it. See here, nenhuma pessoa. Nenhuma pessoa pode ganhar o título. No person or no one can win the title. On the other hand, after using a variable indefinite pronoun, we never encounter a noun. That's what I said before. Examples. Ele tem tudo. Tudo, it's a word that is invariable. You'll never find a noun after tudo. He has everything. Ele não sabe nada. Nada, it's an indefinite pronoun. You will never find a noun after nada because it's it's an indefinite pronoun, an invariable one. Okay? I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. We have a few slides more to talk about this indefinite pronouns, and this lesson was just like an introduction, a few guidelines that I think they will be useful for you. But I think you'll be more comfortable with a few activities that we have for the coming lesson. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed. Thank you for watching. I'll see you shortly.